Men's and women's basketball hosts FGCU in the Battle of the Birds this Saturday. Also, the ASUN released preseason baseball awards.
We've got all that and more on this edition of Friday Follow-Up on Osprey Sports Network.
Hey Ospreys, I'm Liberty Deskin.
And I'm Catherine Marsh.
Women's basketball returned home from a game against USC Upstate. This game was moved from Monday to Tuesday. The ladies never seemed to find their rhythm, losing 69-54. Clara Needies and Sierra Shepard both had 16 points. Kadisha Johnson just missed out on a double-double with 11 points and 9 rebounds. Claire was also named ASUN Newcomer of the Week.
The Battle of Birds is upon us. Both men's and women's basketball take on FGCU tomorrow night in the UNF Arena. Our Elizabeth Norton caught up with head coach Derek Gibbs and some of the players to preview the game.
Thanks, Catherine. The women's basketball team just got back from a 6-day extended road trip due to weather. They're facing FGCU this Saturday at 2 p.m. in our home arena. I chatted with Coach Derek Gibbs, Taru Matakivi, and Sierra Shepard to ask them how they're feeling about the game this Saturday.
I thought they had a good time on the road. They made the most of the opportunity. We had a couple, or I should say one, that had never seen snow before, our manager Davion, and so that was a pretty good experience for him. But, we hung out, took everything in and made the most of the experience. But again, we're glad to be back home.
Well, it's still we prepared the same way. So we just had the games were more split up, so we had more time to prepare for Upstate after the NJIT game. So we're still we're on the road and we're just prepared the same way.
Well, they're not really good on-ball defenders, so we'll probably attack a lot and look for our kickouts. And defensively, we'll just play up, protect the three. So yeah.
Well, Gulf Coast is a really good team. Their tradition and what they've done in the conference over the years is unbelievable. And our job, is to make it tough for them. We got to come out and play our game. We have to play better. I think some things we played hard and we competed in our last outing, but I don't think we did a lot of the little things that we need to do in order to come up with the result we want. So, I think that's going to be a big thing. They shoot the ball well from the perimeter. We got to run them off the three-point line. We got to force them to finish in the mid-range area, and then we got to make shots and execute offensively.
FGCU is undefeated in conference play, so it should be a tough but exciting matchup for the Ospreys this Saturday. For the North Florida women's basketball team, I'm Elizabeth Norton. Back to you, Catherine.
17 straight home victories are what the men's basketball team takes into the matchup against the Eagles this Saturday. Not only that, but they are also undefeated in the conference so far this year.
We caught up with Coach Driscoll, Bo Beach, and Dallas Moore, the current Conference Player of the Week, to preview the game and the season.
Well, obviously being back home has been great for us. It's been not only great for us this year, but we've extended it into last year as well, too. So to have that kind of advantage, and now with the new scoreboard, now with the new seats on the sideline, now with the new mural at the end, plus the fact that we've sold so many more season tickets, and every single crowd seems to be getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's not just student growth, it's actually community growth as well, too, because I think people realize that it's a fun product and it's an event as opposed to whatever. So I think that really has helped us to get even bigger crowds and more people excited about what these guys are doing.
The biggest thing is they're a real physical team, very defensive. They have a lot of versatile offensive players as well. So we just got to defensively stay disciplined for the whole 40 minutes. If not, they can get on good runs, they can stop us, and they can get easy baskets, and we don't want to do that. So we want to limit their rhythm and, just play fast like we always do.
It feels great to be back. The cold was fun, but it's too cold. I don't like jackets that much. It feels good back to be home, just to be back home. Yeah, without those guys, I probably wouldn't be ASUN Player of the Week for the third time. Those guys are always open, always in the right spot. So if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't get that accomplishment.
Well, I think when you look at Florida Gulf Coast and you look at a team that's coming in, one of the upper echelon teams in the league, one of the teams picked to win the league in several different publications, you always have to be in your P's and Q's, understand exactly what they're trying to do and how you're going to counter what they may try to do to you. So you have to look at that videotape. And one thing is when you get this far into the season, we're almost in February, there's really not too many secrets. So you really have to be locked into what you're trying to accomplish. And when the day's done, it's really about the players between the black lines. And they've got to be the most locked into understanding we've got to tweak a little bit, we've got to change a little bit. However, we got to continue to do what we do.
The women's team tip off at 2 p.m. and the men's at 7. After this game, the women will have 2 more games on the road. They will travel to Stetson Thursday, February 4th, and then FGCU on Saturday, February 6th.
The men will play home against Stetson on Monday, February 1st, before hitting the road on Saturday to Fort Myers, where they will face FGCU. Both the men's and women's game will be available on ESPN3.
The A-Sun have released the preseason baseball awards. Corbin Olmstead, Keith Skinner, and Kyle Brooks were all named to the all-conference team.
Patrick Irvin was named preseason defensive player of the year, and the Ospreys were voted preseason favorites to win the conference, which would give them back-to-back titles.
Before the Battle of the Birds in the arena, the women's tennis team will host their first matches of the season. The Ospreys will play South Carolina State at 12:30 p.m. and Florida State at 4. Meanwhile, the men's tennis team will continue their New York trip. They beat ranked Cornell and go on to face Columbia on Saturday the 30th. They return home Tuesday, February 9th to play Louisiana Lafayette.
The track and field team will take part in the two-day Camel City Invitational being hosted by Wake Forest January 29th and 30th.
But this jam-packed weekend isn't over just yet. The swim team travels to Nashville, Tennessee for a meet against Vanderbilt and Marshall. This will be the last regular season meet until the CCSA Championship.
And here with us today is senior swimmer Amy Taylor. So Amy, you were named CCSA's Women's Swimmer of the Week for the second time. You also entered the all-time top 10 list 10 times, including your school record in the 200 butterfly. What's this year been like for you?
It's been a really exciting year. So far I've been doing better than I've expected, and since it's my last year, I'm really looking forward to going out with the best season I've ever had.
So this is the last season meet until the CCSA Championship. What's your mentality going into this meet?
Going into this meet, this is our last opportunity to really race and see where we're at before we get to the conference championship. So it's really important for us to see what we still need to do and fix it before we get to conference.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us and good luck tomorrow. For all of us at Osprey Sports Network, I'm Catherine Marsh.
I'm Liberty Deskin.
And I'm Amy Taylor.
Have a great weekend and go Ospreys!